It's cheesy, it's bready, oh, it's so gooey. We are making grilled cheese and tomato soup bake. The best of both worlds, your tomato soup and your grilled cheese, all baked into one. Let's do it right now. Now we gotta start off with any grilled cheese with bread. I've got a light rye. I suppose you could use regular bread, but it might make it a little soggy. We're also gonna need some milk for our tomato soup, of course. Cup or so of mozzarella cheese. If you've got slices, that will work also. Some cream cheese, not all of it. Some butter, tomato paste. We're going to also use a couple teaspoons of basil, some minced garlic, and a little bit of salt and pepper. I think I've got everything. So let's get started. Here's our pan. We're going to grease it up, obviously. And we're not going to toast the bread because it's just going to get soggy anyway with the soup we're putting in. But here's my rye. When you want to make sure you cover the bottom. I suppose if you wanted to toast the one side, it's not going to do anything, but you could try to give it a little extra crunch. My daughter seemed to think that that would be the way to go. But what we're doing is we're making sure the whole bottom is covered. That's your base, right? So if you got a bigger pan, it'll fit better, but I took the last slice and kind of put it in all the little crevices and that, at least to start out that way. Not going to matter so much on the top. Now here's our cream cheese softened. You want it softened because now we're going to spread it onto our bread. And of course, if you just get the soft cream cheese to begin with, you probably don't have to wait for it to soften. You can just take it right out of the fridge. Spread it all out nice and neat. And if you want to put more on, hey, by all means. Now here's our basil. I thought about measuring it, but then, hey, we're sprinkling it on, so let's do that. I'm just making sure I cover, the whole pan. Just cuz. Now here's our mozzarella. And then our next layer of bread. Now when it comes to the cheese, like I said, you could use slices for the middle if that's what you want to do. So there. We've got it all covered up. Now we're just going to take our butter that we melted and butter it on top. Oh, this is going to be good. So let's make our tomato soup. Now the recipe called for a half a cup of tomato paste, but a full can is a little more than that. I don't think it's going to matter one way or another. In goes our garlic. And this actually surprised me. It turned out really good for tomato soup. Now we're going to salt and pepper it up. About a teaspoon, maybe about a half a teaspoon really. Like I said, I've pulled out the Italian seasoning, so I did put a little bit of that and some salt. So now we're going to mix all that together. And we've got to get this warmed up too while we're at it. So once it starts warming up, we're going to add our milk little by little. That's going to be 1 3/4 cup of milk. I'm guessing here, because I grew up with it, you could probably throw half and half water and milk, right? I grew up, my mother wouldn't let us use milk for a tomato soup, and it still turned out okay. You bring it up to a boil, get it off to the side. Into our measuring cup goes our 2 eggs. Mix it around. And then we're going to pour our soup into our measuring cup. And gently pour it on top. Want to make sure you cover all of it as even as you can. You can see it's still steamy. And it's going to work out fine. It's all going to kind of work its way into the crevices and do its own thing. So there you go. We've kind of made a half a grilled cheese without grilling it. And our tomato soup. And now we got to put cheese on top. So I didn't have any more mozzarella, but I did have my Mexican blend, so that's what we're doing. And, well, I did have a little bit of mozzarella left. So we just combined it to make sure we had lots of cheese. If you just want to put cheddar on it, you can do that too. Let's get her in the oven. 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. Make sure it starts browning up around the edge like that. We cut a piece and there you go. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this and any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.